Hamlet, William Shakespeare. The shadow of Ebonwood Manor. The wind howled through the ancient trees of Ebonwood, their gnarled branches stretching like fingers against the darkened sky. Rain lashed the cobblestone road as a lone carriage clattered toward the looming silhouette of the manor. Inside, Lady Evelyn Lancaster clenched her trembling hands together, her heart pounding like a war drum. The letter had arrived only 3 nights before, an invitation from the enigmatic Lord Sebastian Ashford, a man shrouded in scandal and whispers of sorcery. She had no choice but to come. The truth of her father's death lay within these walls, and she would not leave without it. The grand doors creaked open, revealing a butler whose hollow stare sent shivers down her spine. Candlelight flickered across the velvet-draped corridors, illuminating portraits of long-dead Ashfords whose eyes seemed to follow her every step. At the heart of the great hall stood Lord Sebastian himself, tall, brooding, his piercing emerald gaze locking onto hers. "You came," he murmured, his voice a blend of curiosity and amusement. "I had begun to wonder if you feared the legends." "I fear nothing," Evelyn lied, lifting her chin defiantly. "Tell me why you summoned me. What do you know of my father's fate?" Sebastian studied her, his expression unreadable. Then, with a graceful motion, he extended a gloved hand.
"Come," he said.
"There are truths best unveiled in darkness." She hesitated, but the hunger for answers propelled her forward. He led her down a spiraling staircase into the depths of the manor, where torches lined the damp stone walls. The air was thick with an otherworldly chill. A massive oak door groaned open, revealing a chamber lit only by the eerie glow of moonlight filtering through an arched window. At its center lay an ornate mirror, its silver frame pulsating with an unnatural energy. Evelyn's breath caught. "What is this?" "The Mirror of Sorrows," Sebastian said. "It does not reflect the present, but the past. If you wish to see the truth of your father's demise, you need only gaze into it." A sudden dread curled in her stomach. She turned to Sebastian. "And what do you see when you look into it?" His jaw tightened. "A man I once was, and one I can never be again." Her pulse quickened. There was something in his voice, a sorrow, a longing. Against all reason, she felt drawn to him, as if some invisible thread connected their fates. Slowly, she stepped toward the mirror, her fingers trembling as they brushed against the cool glass. The surface rippled like disturbed water, and suddenly, the chamber around her vanished. She was no longer standing in the manor's depths, but in a lavish ballroom bathed in golden light. Laughter and music filled the air. Then, a scream tore through the revelry. Her father stood at the center of the room, his face contorted in terror. A shadowy figure emerged behind him, its hands dripping with darkness. It reached forward, and then the vision shattered like broken glass. Evelyn stumbled back, gasping. He was murdered. Sebastian's expression darkened. "Yes." She turned to him. "You knew." "I suspected," he admitted, "but now we have proof." "Who was it?" she demanded. "Who took his life?" A heavy silence hung between them, and then, softly, he said, "Me." The world seemed to tilt. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat.
"No."
"That's impossible." He took a step closer, his eyes full of torment. "I was not myself. The darkness, it claimed me that night. I fought it, but I was too weak." Fury and sorrow warred within her. She should hate him. She should run. And yet, Sebastian knelt before her, his voice raw. "I have lived in penance ever since. I called you here to give you the truth you deserve. And if you demand my life in return, I will not resist." Evelyn's hands shook. She had spent years longing for vengeance. Now, it lay within her grasp. And yet, in his anguished gaze, she saw not a monster, but a man shackled by his own demons. Tears burned her eyes. "I cannot forgive you," she whispered. "Not yet." "I do not expect you to," he said, "only to know the truth." A storm raged inside her. She could leave, let the hatred consume her, or she could stay and uncover the greater mystery that lingered within him. Slowly, she reached for his hand. His breath hitched at the touch. The air crackled between them, charged with something unspoken. The night was far from over, and neither of them would emerge from it unchanged.
Whispering echoes.